Hi, it's Isaiah with CIA, and this video is going to be me going through my Studio Ghibli CD collection. First things first, I want to shout out Swiss Bohemian. He made a video a couple years ago of him going through his Studio Ghibli CD collection, and that kind of inspired me to kind of one-up him and get more CDs than he had at that time, which I think I have done handily. So shout out to him, but I'm kind of gonna, blow you out of the water. But yeah, so let's get into it. I have these first four shelves here, which are all Studio Ghibli related, or there's pre-Studio Ghibli stuff at the beginning as well. So I'm gonna go through piece by piece and just show you what I got. So starting out with some pre-Ghibli soundtracks, we have Horus, Prince of the Sun. This is a 2 CD collection, and Takahata's first movie, pretty good. The main draw for this CD, I would say, is this character has some vocal tracks that she sings in the movie, and those are included on this CD, so it's pretty good. Otherwise, it's not the most incredible score, but still pretty good. We have a couple here. Heidi, Girl of the Alps. So this CD was released earlier. It's more of a soundtrack selection. It's not a complete soundtrack sort of thing, but it has 21 tracks, including the opening as a TV version. So if you like Heidi, that's pretty good. But just a couple of months ago, they released this more complete like full soundtrack. This is a 3-disc like complete BGM collection. So if you're a big fan of the Heidi music like I am, good investment to make. Moving on, kind of going through the world masterpiece theater stuff. Next we have Marco, 3000 Leagues in Search of Mother. This is a 2-disc set with BGM. And the nice thing about some of these is that I believe, the first disc, it puts all the vocal tracks kind of strung together in the beginning there, so you get a nice selection of those. And that's always great. Love some world masterpiece theater. Then getting into Miyazaki's first series, we have Future Boy Conan. This is a 2-disc collection. Again, mostly BGM. Again, probably not the best Miyazaki soundtrack out there, but it's classic stuff. Now we're getting into some very, some of my favorite, definitely probably my favorite pre-Ghibli thing. So we have Anne of Green Gables. Again, this is a selection soundtrack sort of thing. It only has 14 tracks and has some of the movements from the soundtrack, but it's not complete. But this Memorial Music Museum box set has 2 discs. Again, same thing. It has like all the vocal tracks and then 2 discs of BGM. And this is, I would say, this is essential purchasing, or at least listening. Fantastic stuff for the best television series of the 70s. So can't go wrong there. Same sort of thing with Castle Cagliostro. This is like a selection, incomplete soundtrack. And then this is the complete music file, as they call it. This is a 2 CD, I believe. A lot of tracks. If you just want Fire Treasure, though, the vocal track, I believe it's on this one. So you could just get that if that's what you're looking for. But they're both quite good. So yeah, that's kind of pre-Ghibli. So now we are getting into Nausicaa, and this will be a good example of, you know, there's only like, what, 25, 26 Studio Ghibli movies, but I have 4 shelves of CDs. You know, what's going on there? How can there be so many? And I think this will be a good kind of setup to illustrate that. So with Nausicaa, I have 5 CDs. So, and this is going to be kind of a running theme once we get into a lot of this. So this is Image Album, which comes before the movie. Let me do the soundtrack, you know, regular soundtrack of the movie. And then a single CD for the ending theme. And this is something that they do with most of these. This is a symphonic version of many of the tracks on the soundtrack. And then they put these out a little bit after. This is the High Tech series by Joe Hisaishi, and it's basically like synthier, more electronic versions of the soundtrack. So, you know, with just one film, we're getting 5 releases, and a lot of them are gonna kind of follow this setup. So, going into Castle in the Sky, we have 6 CDs for Castle in the Sky. We have the Image Album. Again, we have okay, this is the single CD for the ending theme. This is the soundtrack. What is this? This is a symphonic version of tracks. This is the high-tech version. Again, more synthy. And this is like the redone version of the soundtrack done in like the 2002. So, and you know, kind of blasphemy, but this one's kind of, I enjoyed this one more in my opinion. Track 10, Memories of Gondoa. That's where it's at. So that's Castle in the Sky. I'm going through these really quick, but there's like over 100 here, and I'm trying to make this as brisk as possible. So trying to get through as fast as we can. Totoro. This might take the cake. This is 7 CDs for Totoro. Let's see what we got. So this is, which one is this? Okay, this is the songbook. So this is like vocal tracks that they put out before the movie. This is just the soundtrack. So this must be the Image Album. I'm pretty sure. So Image Album, regular soundtrack, single for the ending song, high-tech version. This is a Totoro Symphony collection, that in 2002, so just like a symphony concert. And then this is like a sing-along sort of CD. It's just some like karaoke versions of the tracks, I believe. It's kind of more aimed at kids, but you know, when you're kind of a completionist, that's maybe something to get. Moving to Grave of the Fireflies, we have, this one's kind of refreshing, just Image Album, yes, and soundtrack. So just 2 super great with fireflies. That's easy. We have Sherlock Hound soundtrack. Shout out Sherlock Hound. Pretty good. Just one for this. This one was hard to get for me though. And it took me a long time, but I finally have it. Great opening, which is on here. Good stuff. Then we have, Kiki. So we have 6 for Kiki. Good selection here. We have, oh man. This is the soundtrack. This is just the soundtrack. I should have been more prepared for this. A single CD. This is a vocal album. Yes, an album of vocal tracks. For Kiki, this is, oh man, okay. I think I got mixed up. I think this is the Image album. Which one came out first? It came out on the same day. I think this is the soundtrack, this is the Image album. I'm pretty sure. High-tech version, again. And this is a symphonic suite that was put out in 2020, so nice bonus to add on there. Okay, now we're getting into some, we're gonna see some deep cuts with this next one. So, Amoi de Poro Poro, only yesterday. It's my favorite Ghibli movie. 4 CDs for only yesterday. That might surprise you. This one gets a bit weird. So, Image album, standard. Soundtrack, fantastic. And then we have 2 really kind of oddball ones that took me a long time to even know that they existed. So we have a small ensemble CD, so it's kind of like just some arranged versions of soundtrack songs. And then we have a retro album, they call it, and it's, I believe it's like the themes from the television shows that show up in the movie, and I think some synthy versions of some of the tracks. So again, retro. This one's a weird one. I mean, if you really want it, go for it. I kind of got it because it's, again, my favorite. Just getting through these. Let's see. We have, okay. Porco Rosso. We have, oh man, which is which? This is the Image album. Yeah. And this is the soundtrack. So, fantastic stuff. Love it. Who doesn't love Porco Rosso? Okay, this is an easy one. There's just one for Ocean Waves. And this one's great. This is a fantastic soundtrack. Especially the ending theme, which is on here. Great stuff. Okay. Now we have Pompoko. These were hard. This one was so hard to get. This is the Image album. Yeah, and this is just the regular soundtrack. I paid a lot for this one, and it's like not fantastic as far as Ghibli soundtracks go, but I got it. So just 2 for Pompoko. Pretty nice. Okay, now we're getting into another heavy hitter. Let's see. Whisper of the Heart, which is like tied for my favorite Ghibli. So I had to get as many CDs as possible for this one. We have 6, or there's a repeat, so 5. Image album, really good. I have 2 copies of the soundtrack because the first one I got wasn't in great condition, and the second one I got also was not in great condition. But you know, at least I have a backup either way. So we have a single CD for the Country Roads track that's used as the ending theme, and then we have 2 kind of crazy ones. So as you know, they use the Olivia Newton-John version of Country Roads in the intro, and it's not on any of the Japanese CDs, so I had to go out and track down a copy myself. So this is an Olivia Newton-John greatest hits collection, which has Country Roads on it. I really tried to find just like a cheap used CD of one of her albums with that track on it, but I looked for weeks and I couldn't, so I had to spend like 20 bucks on this brand new greatest hits collection. But it has the track on it, so that, you know, I got to complete the soundtrack. And then I've talked about this one in a previous video. This is a poetry reading CD from the main voice actress, and I thought it might be helpful. I have it loaded up in the CD player because I know it's kind of hard to describe, so I'm just gonna play like part of a track just so that you get an idea. We have a whole setup here, so I'll go to the second track. So it's the voice actress reciting poetry that Miyazaki wrote for this CD. And this track is her talking about the cat. Pretty good. If you don't speak Japanese, you might not get a lot out of that, but and it's hard to find. But you know, Whisper of the Heart is one of my favorites, so I had to get the whole thing there. Okay, next. Oh, we have do I have everything for this? Ooh, I think there's one that's lost in the shuffle here. We'll get to it when I come to it. But this is Mononoke. Okay. Image album for Mononoke. Very good. This is the soundtrack for Mononoke. One of Hisaishi's best, maybe his best, for the Miyazaki films. Single CD for the ending theme, which is incredible. You have to have it. And then this is a like symphonic version, which is, I mean, if you're gonna get a symphonic version, it's gonna be for this soundtrack. It's really kind of larger than life. So okay, next we have underappreciated, My Neighbors the Yamadas. This is a 2 CD. The case I got it in was damaged, so I like put it in 2 replacement cases, but you get the idea. This is a really nice soundtrack. Kind of jazzy piano stuff. Really great. Underappreciated, underrated movie. Great soundtrack. Yeah. So it is just one, but I haven't been to. Okay. Now we have Spirited Away image album for Spirited Away. Okay, we have the soundtrack. As you do, we have the single CD. Fantastic ending theme for this movie. Love it. And again, this is an orchestral suite by Joe Hisaishi. This was put out in 2019. So if you want, if this isn't enough for you, get a little bonus. Okay, now we have an interesting trio here. This is some. These are. Now we're getting into some deep cuts. This is. Oh man. Koro the caterpillar? No, that's Boro the caterpillar. This is one of the Ghibli shorts. I should know the name of it, I'm sorry. That plays at the Ghibli Museum. This is the soundtrack to it. I may never get to see the actual short itself, but I'll have the soundtrack. This is Ghibli's episode 2. Great short from Ghibli. And I forget, I think this has a vocal track on it that's really good. Maybe the ending theme, I forget. It's still in the rapping. I haven't really listened to it yet. And then May and the Cat Bus soundtrack for the short. Again, I have not seen it. But and I haven't even heard the soundtrack yet, but I'm sure it's great. Okay. We're more than halfway through. We're really getting through this. It's good. Okay. Cat Returns. Pretty simple. We have the soundtrack and the ending song. Incredible ending song. Now look, I'm gonna, not to get into talking about the films themselves too much, I would say Cat Returns is like, if we're gonna pick a worst Ghibli film, I'd probably say this one. It seems the least, substantial. The soundtrack's still great, still Yuji Nomi, so returning from Whisper of the Heart, and again, one of my favorite ending singles. Okay, this is another weird one, but I have an explanation. So, this is a CD from Tsunehiko Kamijo called Okasan no Shashin. And this was a CD produced by Miyazaki in 2003. And there's this documentary DVD that shows that process of him producing the CD. So I found the documentary first, and I'm like, oh, could I actually buy the CD that they're talking about? And I could. It's not really my bag in terms of like the style. He's like an older guy, and he does this kind of traditional Japanese sounding thing. You know what? I'm gonna go all out here. We'll play it for the video. Although this is, I'm not gonna edit this, but again, I would be annoyed if someone brought this up in a video and didn't like give a sample. So that's what we'll do. Again, it's fine. Even if it's not really my thing, if it's Miyazaki's thing, I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, let me get the... I hope this isn't enough to strike me here. Oh. So that kind of delivery, it's good. You know, Miyazaki produced it. I'm gonna buy it. Okay. Okay. Howl's Moving Castle. We have Image album, as we do. The soundtrack. This one's weird. It's like the only one with a slip cover like this. But quite a good soundtrack. I'm not really giving my opinions too much on these, but again, I'm trying to not make this an hour-long video. And the ending song single. Fantastic. Okay. Okay, this one's kind of a single CD, or not a single CD, just by itself. So this came out in 2005, and this is the Czech Philharmonic Orchestra playing some Studio Ghibli selections. It's quite good. I think this is on streaming. You can probably, you know, preview this yourself, but it has stuff from Mononoke and Totoro, and the Cat Returns, I believe, and Howl, because it came out just right after. So again, more like orchestral sort of stuff if you want even more. And then we have quite the selection here. How many do we have? We have 6, but again, there's a repeat, so like 5. Tales from Earthsea. Again, I'm not gonna get into it here. Fantastic movie and a fantastic soundtrack. I'm gonna go to bat for it every time. So this is Teru's song, just a single CD of that track. Fantastic. This is a songbook collection. So this is Aoi Teshima's. This is a collection of vocal tracks that she did. So good. This is so good. Love these songs. Love this album. I have 2 copies of the soundtrack. Again, kind of a weird case here, because the first one I bought, this is like this is not the Japanese version. This was put out, was this like France or something? I forget. It's not the original Japanese CD, but this is. So fantastic soundtrack, as I've said. And this has a couple interesting extras. This is a piano kind of arrangement album that came out afterwards. Really good. And this is Carlos Nunez melodies from Earthsea. And he played some of the if you watch the like documentary on the disc, you know that he came in to play like bagpipes and the ocarina and stuff for the soundtrack, but he had some extra tracks, more like fleshed out stuff that they put together on this CD. This one I would say is essential. There's a track, Bounty of the Land, I think. There's like a really fantastic track on this that's like emblematic of the whole movie, I think. That's worth getting it just for that, in my opinion. But I'm kind of, as you can see, I'm kind of I may be overly dedicated to this line of products. Okay. Next, Ponyo. This is just a nice two-parter image album soundtrack. Pretty simple. Okay. Now, chronologically, this isn't the next one, but just in terms of where I had to put it on the shelf, it is. So, this is the Takahata CD box set, and it has the soundtracks, not the image albums or anything, just the main soundtracks for 5 of his main films there. So, I mean, this is a good way to, you know, if you just want to get the main soundtracks all compact, this is a good way to get it. And the reason I bought this one, in particular, it has the Panda Copanda and Chie the Brat film soundtrack CDs, which on CD they're only available in this box set. They were put out on vinyl like a long time ago, but that's hard to come by. And it has Horace. I don't know if it's as complete as the other one, but so this is a really good box set. Again, I had to get it for these two. So this is a good investment if you don't really want all the individual releases. I don't have the Miyazaki box set because as far as I could tell, it didn't have any standout extras like those two. If you're watching this video, I would assume you have a higher chance of owning that box set than me even. So even though I have a pretty complete collection, I would say you may have that one up on me with that box set if you have it. I'll probably get it at some point, but for now I have all the individual releases. So, yep. Okay, last shelf. 3/4 of the way through. Let me take a drink. We're making good time though. This could be maybe like 45 minutes. Okay. This is, make sure I get the name right, Azumi Inoue's Dear Ghibli CD. So she's the one who sang the ending theme for Castle in the Sky, and she did kind of a covers album of Ghibli theme songs. So there's a lot of albums and CDs like this of like covers and like piano arrangements, stuff like that of Ghibli songs. I'm only interested in this one because it's from someone who was involved already, and she has a great voice. So yeah, great collection of covers. She's the best. Oh, this is a good time to bring up this one. So this came out a little earlier than that CD I just showed, but this is a 20th anniversary concert of her doing some Ghibli songs and then just some of her own material, I think. So this is kind of an obscure DVD of that concert. I previewed it a little bit. I wasn't like particularly whelmed by it, but I mean, she does sing some classic Ghibli tracks, and it's, I mean, she's killing it on the mic. The presentation isn't the most mind-blowing, but so if you're really invested like I am, maybe that's something to look into. Again, it took me a long time to even know that this was a thing, so that's something. Getting into, as a matter of fact, I'll do this one because I think maybe chronologically we're about at the right place. This is like 2012 or something. 2009. Oh, yeah, we're past that. So this is, you probably have seen this cover, at least this is live at, I forget the venue. But this is Joe Hisaishi live concert. I haven't watched this yet or listened to it. I mean, I've seen like a little preview. I mean, I already know this is like essential viewing sort of thing, so I mean, I had no problem buying it. So yeah, in terms of Ghibli live concerts, this is probably the, I mean, presentation-wise, getting a Blu-ray of it, that's probably the best one you'll find out there, so that's kind of the what I have for my disc music-related ones. Where were we? Okay. Getting into Arietti. So this is a fun one. We have 3. Songbook by Cecile Corbel. So this is vocal tracks, kind of image album stuff, I think. Tracks that aren't in the movie. This is the soundtrack. This is the first Ghibli CD that I bought. This is what started this whole collection. And fantastic soundtrack. I want to refute Jake Cunningham on the Ghibliotheque podcast. He came after the soundtrack and said it was horrible. That's what he said. It's horrible. You would I won't imitate him that much, but no, Jake, you're wrong. This is a great soundtrack. Don't disrespect it like that. Another thing is so it has this booklet in the back, and this is not a practical way of going about this. Probably watching this video might be even a better way, but this has like a complete catalog of the Ghibli CDs that they had put out up to the point of this one, obviously. And it's like comprehensive. It has like every release of the CDs, because this obviously is a lot with how many different kinds there are. But that booklet helped me out a lot. It has a full list of all the different releases. Ones that I don't have, I'm not technically complete with the Ghibli CDs, because they put out a line of like drama CDs is what they call them, but it's, to my understanding, it's the complete soundtracks of the movie, as in like unaltered, like has the dialogue and the sound effects. It's like just the sound of the movies put on the CD, which is useless in my opinion, so I don't buy any of those. So they do have those in there as well, but I've only gotten the ones that I think are worthwhile. And the single CD for Arietti Song, and not it's weird they didn't include Summertime by Bridget Mendler on this one. That was kind of an omission. Kind of a funny joke there. Okay, next we have another hard hitter for me, Poppy Hill. This is a piano album from Satoshi Takabe. He did most of these here, so it's just a collection of piano tracks. So good. The soundtrack is so good. Just the vibe of it, incredible. Just the regular soundtrack with all the regular tracks there. So, and then this is a kind of like Earthsea. This is a songbook CD by Aoi Teshima. Another must-have, in my opinion. So many good tracks. She's killing it, as she also does on the single CD. This one was hard to find. Great ending song. Gotta have that. So another great one. We have just one for The Wind Rises, which is fine. It does have the ending song Vapor Trail as the last track, so that's also included. So there's not a separate CD for that, but it's on this, which is fantastic because it's my favorite like micro genre of music is Studio Ghibli ending songs. So that's why I gotta get each and every one. Okay, Kaguya, Tale of the Princess Kaguya. This is soundtrack. The soundtrack CD. So good. This one, I guess this one's Korean? I got a Korean version? Somehow. I forget. But that's fine with me. This is the ending theme song by Nikaido Kazumi. Top 3 Studio Ghibli ending theme songs. Oh my gosh. Okay. Deep lore. I'm just gonna include this in the video. For anyone who's a fan of Phil Elverum or the Microphones or Mount Eerie, I'm gonna drop the deepest like Studio Ghibli piece of lore of all time. If you're a fan of him and you've seen that video on YouTube of him doing karaoke to Lil Wayne, in the video the camera person like does the 360 with the camera, and the DJ mentions like, oh, thanks to our Japanese friends for coming out here. If you pause the video, one of the Japanese people, because he was like touring with them at the time, but Nikaido Kazumi is in that video, in that karaoke bar, listening to Phil Elverum sing Lil Wayne. Fantastic piece of lore, in my opinion. And speaking of which, this is her doing a vocal album with, you know, Princess Kaguya themed songs. There's the second track on here, yeah, like My Treasure is what it's called. So good. If you just listen to that one, I think that will be enough to make you buy the CD. Okay. This is, at once, I'm like the proudest and most ashamed of owning this. So, Ronya, the TV series soundtrack. This is also Satoshi Takabe. So it's really good music. Now, obviously, no one gives this show the time of day because they're, you know, they're not ready for that. It's a great show. Fantastic. And I got this soundtrack in particular because it has a vocal track that's not played in full during the show. Okami no Uta. Really good. This is the most expensive Ghibli-related CD that I've ever bought. It was so hard. I got like the last copy on Discogs, and it was like $140 or $150 for Ronya soundtrack. And I bought it. Because I'm that dedicated. And you know, look, the way I see it, no one else is brave enough to really put in the investment to get the Ronya soundtrack. But I didn't. I couldn't even find it online. If I could have like downloaded it or something, maybe I would have settled, but I couldn't. So I have that. Marnie. This is like top 3 Ghibli soundtracks overall. This is the soundtrack. Incredible. The first disc of this is more like an image album, kind of like an orchestral image album. I don't think the tracks are used in the movie itself. Yeah, it's an image album. And the second disc is just the actual soundtrack. It's so good, so emotional. One of my top Ghibli movies in general. incredible. Fine on the Outside, single, Priscilla On, so good. And a Priscilla On vocal album. So this takes like kind of instrumentals from the soundtrack, and she writes songs over them, and they're so good. If you don't know about this, please listen to it. Some of the songs are based on like a poetry and writing given to her by Yonebayashi, so it still has like the substance and the vision from the director, but through Priscilla On's incredible vocals. Cannot recommend that one enough. Okay. Now, this is another case. If you really just want the hits, you want the ending themes all in one, this would be a good one. So this is Studio Ghibli Songs New Edition. So this came out in 2015. So this has all like the big kind of ending songs up until Fine on the Outside. So up until Marnie. And even if you have all of the ending singles like I do, the draw for this one, at least for me, it has On Your Mark, which isn't on any of these other ones. So, and On Your Mark is best music video of all time, hands down, and incredible track. You gotta own it on CD. So this is the way to go with that. And again, if you just want the ending songs and kind of a compact thing, yeah, that'd be a good one. Alternatively, if you want all the ending songs as marimba versions, you can have this CD, which is, I think this is more like aimed at children. It's the ending songs on marimba. You know, it's kind of nice, just relaxing versions of those. If you want. Again, I'm just kind of a completionist, so that's what I got. But yeah, maybe not an essential. But you know what is an essential? And I'm not gonna hear it anymore from anyone. Satoshi Takabe, he came back. And, you know, he turned out another great soundtrack for a great movie. I'm not going to get into it here, but that's all I'm going to say. Eye and the Witch, or Earwig and the Witch is the translated title. Soundtrack. And this is a vocal, kind of like rock themed album to go along with the kind of the style of the movie. So this one was really hard to find, even though it was like really recent in terms of when I bought it. But, you know, it was worth it, obviously, and I got it. Okay, we're getting down to the wire here. We have, these two came up pretty close together. This is Joe Hisaishi Dream Songs, The Essential, Joe Hisaishi. And this has, these are both 2-disc CDs, and there is a lot of, well, there's a few of his like original compositions, original songs on here, but there's quite a few arrangements of Ghibli tracks. So these are, you know, again, kind of nice bonus releases to have. So yeah, those are good. Kind of in the same vein, we have Simple as Best, Aoi Teshima. And this is a kind of vocal performance compilation from her, and this has some of her original work or like cover songs that she did, like The Rose is on here, but it has a couple Ghibli tracks. Has Teru's song and the ending theme to Poppy Hill as well, I believe. So gotta have that. Great stuff. Kind of new, more recent versions of her singing that. Pretty good. Getting back into actual soundtracks, we have How Do You Live, which is the correct title that everyone should say, please. How Do You Live soundtrack. Really good. It's Hisaishi kind of in his like minimalist era, which is interesting. I kind of like that style that he's been going into. I think it comes out to great effect in stuff like this, and Children of the Sea, that soundtrack as well. Really good. Ask Me Why, such a good composition, really moving. Oh, I almost forgot this. So that's the soundtrack. I was not even going to show this. This is the Spinning Globe single CD, which comes in like this photo book. It's kind of a big production for just a single CD, but yeah, it has like photos of Miyazaki and the singer. I forget his name. Yonezu Kenji. Yeah. Fantastic song, as always. And this is, it's a really nice release. But it is more of an investment for like one track. But great to have along with that. Okay, final couple here. So, like I talked about, Azumi Inoue, that first one, Dear Ghibli, this is just a second volume of that came out later with covers of more recent Ghibli tracks. And just kind of newer versions of the classics that she's done. So sure, another batch of those, can't complain. And then we have the final couple here. So we have recent Joe Hisaishi symphonic celebration of some classic Ghibli tracks. There's quite a few of these at this point, but I'm not going to complain. Getting another one, so that one came out quite recently. And that's technically it for Ghibli. Just one little bonus at the end here. This is Marrying the Witch's Flower. Again, this is Takatsugu Muramatsu, who did Marnie soundtrack. So he kind of went over to Ponuk to do this one as well. So, if you're keeping on the Ponuk train as well, there's that. But yeah, that's essentially it. I didn't count exactly how many there were. It's over 100 or just around 100 or something like that. So that's my Ghibli CD collection. I've been meaning to do this for a long time. It took me years to get kind of to a point where I was satisfied with the selection there. So, I hope this video, if anyone's watching it, I don't want this to be promoting like you have to get every one, or you have to have a complete collection like me. If anything, when I first started, I just wasn't aware of kind of the breadth of how many Ghibli kind of soundtracks and CDs there were. Again, with all these kind of different releases, I just thought there'd be, it's just the main soundtrack, right? But there's a lot more, if you're really big fan of these soundtracks and you kind of want to delve more into kind of peripheral music that Ghibli has put out. I hope this video just gives you an idea of, again, the scope, what selections that you can have for that. And yeah, so I mean, just pick the ones that look interesting to you. For most of these, you can preview them online. There's a couple that are harder to find even digitally, but so yeah, hopefully that just gives you an idea. And yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Thanks for watching this very long video.